Many people say that horseback riding isn't a sport. But what should a sport be? It should be something enjoyable that also gives you physical activity. You can't honestly say that pushing around a 1,000-pound animal for 3 hours isn't work. As for the enjoyment part, like most things, it has its difficulties. But riding becomes the ultimate passion for those who take the time to enjoy it.
So since Ashley has started riding, we've noticed a lot different lifestyle. In the summer we don't go camping so much. We spend most of our weekends at the horse arena in some way, shape or form. Not only is family going out to watch her compete and practice, but there's also the preparation before she gets into the arena, the cleanup after, and the preparation of the tack, the boots that has to go on before they compete.
When you ride, you have to forget everything else. Even when you are just walking casually around the ring, you have to think about a million different things. Am I walking fast enough? Are my toes pointed out? Am I sitting straight? Am I going straight? And so on. If you forget even one of these things, well, let's just say it doesn't always turn out so well. In fact, there are 3 times as many reported horse riding injuries as there are hockey injuries. If you take into account the number of participants in these sports, a horse rider is over 3 times more likely to be injured than a hockey player. Riding is like playing any other sport, but the ball happens to be 10 times your weight and have a mind of its own. The ball doesn't wiggle its way deep into your heart in other sports, though.
The relationship that we have here is like family. And the relationship that you have with your horse is like your best friend for life.
It's a bond, you know? Cannot be broken. That was pretty deep.
That was deep.
That was deep.
The barn is one of those few places where everyone can just be themselves, where adults and teenagers can talk on equal ground, and where the most expensive clothes you own should be covered in manure. Unlike most of the girls that I horseback ride with, I prefer dressage to jumping. I think of dressage as dancing with your horse. You have a set pattern to follow, there's a certain position for your body and the horse's body, and you have to make everything seem effortless. This summer at horse shows, I discovered that I'm actually quite good at it too. I like competing because horse shows are so much different from other sporting competitions. For one thing, the age range is astronomical. We have 7-year-olds competing and there are 72-year-old Olympic riders. Another thing about Yukon horse shows is that your friends are your competition. And even though riding is a mostly individual sport, we all cheer for each other. It's not about winning the ribbons. It's about how you feel about your ride. And that is why riding is my passion.
I'd have to say my love of musical theater started with Wicked. I just found the story so inspiring and the music was beyond excellent. That was sort of when I began to fall in love with musical theater. Like, if you talk to me in grade 4, that's probably all I would mention. And actually, if you talk to me now, that's also probably all I would talk about.
Remember, you always used to listen to musical theater songs and memorize them so that when we went to Los Angeles and you saw your first musical at the Pantages Theater in Los Angeles, it was Wicked, and you sang along to all the songs because you knew every single one of them. And luckily the theater wasn't packed so that people didn't have to move away when you were singing.
It got to the point where I kind of felt I needed to be somehow involved in musical theater. My parents put me in a Leaping Feats class, which was one that specialized in musical theater, and it was just overall a great experience.
Some musical theater courses here, and they did some songs from Your Good Man Charlie Brown and High School Musical, and she actually shone on stage and loved to sing. That was really super clear.
I got to meet some really amazing people like Lily and Ashley Rose, and I just really felt that that class helped me build my confidence as a person and a performer. I was in that program from 2007 to 2009, but sadly it was discontinued, which left me in quite a bit of a slump for a very long time. However, in 2011, my mom had me meet with Henry Clausen to set up voice lessons, which really helped build my repertoire and definitely got me out there performing more musical theater songs.
Musical theater is music that is very emotive. You can act, you can work it out, you can actually involve your emotions in the music, and so it is something that is very good for you, Kaylee.
I soon started high school at Vanier Catholic Secondary, which gave me the opportunity to participate in the musical Beauty and the Beast. I played Cogsworth, and I got to meet some really amazing and talented people. Recently, I've been participating in the MAD program, which incorporates everything about musical theater such as dance, acting, and singing, and I got to meet a bunch of people who are into the same stuff as me, which is really great, and participate in community projects, which I think definitely adds to the package. But anyways, that's been my journey through musical theater so far, and I have to say it has been pretty wicked.
My passion would be baking, specifically desserts, because it's relaxing and fun, plus it's a good way to socialize and spend time with my friends and family. It's something I can do at home, making it easy to do anytime I like. I started baking pretty young. I was able to bake for school fundraisers and enjoyed doing so by decorating what I made. All these put together make baking my favorite thing to do. When I was little, I was the kind of kid, like most, that wanted to be included like one of the adults. In this case, helping in the kitchen. Some of my friends would get those little baking sets operated by a light bulb that you could actually eat the food. However, I was allergic to the packages that you used to make the treats. This actually ended well for me because I got to help more often in the real kitchen. It started with helping to do basic things, but soon enough I learned how to use the oven without burning the house down and was able to use the appliances anytime I wanted. This led to me baking constantly, and probably a little too much. Cookies, cobblers, cupcakes, and more cupcakes. So as to say, we never went without dessert.
Ashley's loved baking ever since she was a little girl. It started out, I think, because of her allergies. She isn't able to eat nuts and eggs, so when we took her to birthday parties when she was little, she wouldn't be able to have the birthday cakes and things that people were eating at the party. So we would bring a special little treat for her. She likes to bake with her friends, she likes to bake with her dad and myself, and she does a fantastic job.
I could use my baking in bake sales to raise money. Bake sales being a very common way for younger kids to raise money, I was able to bake a lot. I can even bake for gifts, or I can help a friend bake her birthday cake. I love baking for other people because everyone loves a treat, so it makes people happy. And I like making people happy.
Me and Ashley like to bake together, and we like to bake cookies and cupcakes and cheesecake and pancakes and muffins.
Me and Ashley like to decorate the things that we bake too. We decorate them with bows and sprinkles, and it's just a lot of fun.
I like baking, but I also like art. This combination turns out great because I can decorate cakes with the tools you can find in stores. For my dad's 49th birthday, I made him a big blue castle cake out of wafers and ice cream cones, as well as many, many layers of cake. It was fun. I also love to look up ideas on the internet, and sometimes the food actually looks like they did in the picture, and other times not so much. However, I love to try new things anyway, because, what's the worst that can happen? I love doing something where I can make use of my skills. Baking is something which most times ends up successful, and I feel very content when it looks and tastes very good. I enjoy baking very much. I consider it as my passion.
There's nothing I want but money and time. $1,000,000 bills and the tick, 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 tick. There's nothing more cool.
My passion is dance. I could never imagine not dancing. When I move, it takes me to another world where I have no worries. It's just me, the music, and my passion. I started dance when I was 5, but I was moving ever since I was a tot. I started out with just ballet, then jazz, then before I knew it, I was doing 9 classes a week, and on top of it, I was doing the Nutcracker and other performances. Right now I'm doing ballet, pointe, modern, musical theater, acro, contemporary, jazz, improv, and hip-hop. I basically spend all my free time at the studio. It's my second home. All my instructors and dance friends are like my second family.
Danielle's been dancing since she was 5 years old after seeing a production of the Nutcracker, and she has been dancing at Northern Lights ever since.
Dancing is a big part of my life. Without it, I'd be lost. When I'm dancing, I don't care what other people might think about me. I do it for myself, and that is quite good enough. I love the way music makes me feel, which I try to express in my dancing.
Dancing with Danielle is so much fun, and we've been dancing together since we were like really little. And I love her and awkward music. I'm sorry.
I'm dancing contemporary or ballet. It always makes me happy, and no one can take that away from me. Great dancers are not great because of their technique. They are great because of their passion. Martha Graham.
This is where I spend most of my days.
Well, we took Donovan swimming a few years ago, and he just enjoyed it so much we could tell that swimming was going to be the sport for him. He had a great time. He got to use up lots of energy thrashing around in the pool and playing, and when we brought him home at night, he was exhausted and he slept really well and he wanted to go back again. So we kind of knew that swimming was going to be his sport, and it didn't take very long before we put him into swim club, and he's been doing great. He's just been going great since his first year. So he's very passionate about it, and that's about all I have to say.
You did. You really totally did. I saw big splashes. That was awesome. What else?
I think the flip thing's pretty good. And I was expecting a better time.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't quite see your time. What were
It was
you?
1:13.
Oh, was it 1:13?
Yeah.
It's hard to read. Okay, so 1:13, but you still had 3-second improvement. Your body on your turns was nice and long, which is really good. How many fly kicks did you have off the wall?
I'd like 3, I think.
So maybe 5. I think you can take a little bit. So you got that good rhythm. Your stroke was normal. Good. That was really good. What would you change for next time?
I guess, I don't know, do more, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure.
Great friends for swimming. We hang out all the time. He's kind of like really fast, so I just like, he helps me out. I help him out because, you know, I'm getting faster than him. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, we have a great time together because he's kind of psychotic and so am I. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I think Donovan plays to a lot in Nashville. The freestyle is fascinating. I'm trying to catch up.
I think the thing that's kept me going most of all is probably my friends. My friends have really been very supportive of me in their own unique ways. Yeah, so thanks guys, I owe you one.
There are so many things I enjoy doing in life, but there's really only one of those things that I would get up at 5:30 in the morning to go do every day. That if I had to choose one thing to do for the rest of my life, it would be this. And it is the one thing that I know I will continue doing no matter what. This is my passion and I will never give up on it. I realized that I was passionate about hockey after I played on my first team in high school.
When Hannah was 11, one day we were watching her brother play hockey in the stands, and I had noticed that she'd become more critical and aggressive and that it wasn't her nature. And so I thought that maybe dance wasn't enough, and I decided to offer her some hockey skates. And she chose hockey and she's never gone back.
That year my team wasn't very strong, so we lost almost every game. But that didn't matter to me because I was having so much fun. And every year I play, I learn new things that help me grow as a player and help my love for hockey to grow as well. I would not be passionate about hockey if I hadn't had such great coaches and a great team to help me succeed.
I've been playing with Hannah for 3 years and I really like playing with her because she's good at hockey and I can always count on her.
I like playing with Hannah because she's a really good hockey player and she's a really good friend and a good teammate and fun to be around.
My parents are also very supportive. When I set foot on the ice, I am able to channel all of my thoughts and energy into one thing. For that hour and 15 minutes of game or practice, I don't have to worry about anything. No schoolwork or things going on at home. It's just me and my team. I absolutely love being a part of a team. And it's like having a huge family around all the time, and they're fun to be around. Another reason I love hockey is because I get to travel. We go all over for different tournaments, and I get to experience different cities. This year, our first tournament is in Calgary, and I'm really excited to go to a new area of Canada I've never been before. Hockey has also helped me with many things off ice as well. I have learned that I've got a leadership personality and I've learned how to use it. As a result, this year I was voted assistant captain by my team members. Hockey is one of the only things where I feel totally welcome and like I'm a part of something truly important. That is a great feeling. Hockey makes me feel good about myself and is something that I truly believe I excel at. I love going to hockey almost every day and learning new things and getting to spend time doing something that I love. Hockey is my passion because I absolutely love every aspect of it. From getting up early in the morning to get to a practice and watching the coach draw a drill on his board, to shaking hands at the end of a game. Hockey is my sport and I love it.
My name is Isaac Lazio Fairman. I am extremely passionate about music, especially guitar. I first picked up a guitar when I was around 9 years old. At the time, I was playing piano and I wanted to learn how to play a new instrument. After about a month of taking lessons, I decided that they weren't working out and that guitar wasn't really the instrument for me. Guitar actually became my least favorite instrument and I thought it was kind of dumb. When I was 10 years old, I met an amazing musician named Graham Peters and he got me into drums. He taught me for about 3 years. I brought him in for an interview for this video. How did you first meet Isaac?
I first met Isaac at the summer music camp at the art center. He came in and he wanted piano lessons and acted all shy and stuff, and then he sat down and played the piano and it was like bam, it was amazing.
What was the best part about teaching Isaac?
I think the best part about teaching Isaac was the presents I got at Christmas time. They always gave me good presents. But you know, he's a good student. He usually did what I asked him to do.
After playing a lot of drums, I started to think guitar was cool again, swayed back towards it. At first, my parents were a little bit skeptical about getting me lessons, considering how the first ones didn't really work out. but sure enough, for my 12th birthday, I got my very first electric guitar. I mostly just messed around on it, and Graham showed me just a few chords. And soon after, I began lessons with another amazing musician named Rob Hunter, or Rox for short. So Rob, do you remember the first lessons with Isaac?
I do remember the first lessons with Isaac. He didn't know very much about guitar, but he was a drummer. He wanted to play guitar and picked it up very quickly.
So how has Isaac improved as a musician?
Oh, Isaac has improved a lot as a musician. He can play songs in all different keys, he can solo, he can play rhythm, he can write songs, he's a good songwriter, he can sing. He's now a professional musician, he gets paid for it. He's got a really good ear. Isaac picks stuff up very quickly, and if I get on his case and I tell him to go home and practice something, he does, which is good.
Since my first lessons with Rob, I've played at a handful of shows, including school assemblies, busking gigs, talent shows, and small concerts. Right now, I play a show every Thursday night at Tony's Pizza with Rox. You may not have noticed, but even though I take lessons from a right-handed guitarist, I'm actually a left-handed guitar player. This makes some things hard to learn, because I have to flip everything upside down. Playing guitar is fun and relaxing, and I can convey my thoughts and feelings through music. Practicing is a way for me to lose myself in notes and just relax. I love all my guitars almost as much as I love my family. I'll introduce you to the 3 ones I play the most. My Fender Acoustic is a great guitar that I bought while I was in Calgary last year. I play it every Thursday night at Tony's Pizza. My first electric guitar was my Squier Stratocaster. I still play it regularly. And last of all is the gem of my collection, my Gibson SG Standard I got for my 14th birthday. It's a beautiful guitar and I love to play it. I want to keep learning and become a better and better guitar player. I hope someday I will make it somewhere in the music world. Maybe I might end up opening for your favorite band. Who knows? Maybe my band will be your favorite.
Happiness is like unicorns. Therefore, it is my passion.
There are many complicated levels to happiness. The first being...
Meet my Fluffy, Karma. So Karma, what makes you happy?
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy and I feel like I'm loving you. Love you such a sweet thing, good enough to eat thing, and it's just what I'm gonna do. Ooh, love to hold ya, ooh, love to kiss ya, ooh, love I love.
Happiness to me is watching Kylie dance.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse.
When I see Kylie move across the stage, she just has pure joy, and you can see it in her face and you can see it in her toes. She just shines from everywhere. Happiness is one of the happiest things in the world to me is when everybody's home for dinner and we do our highs and lows. Makes me happy. And butterflies and rainbows and sunshine and happiness, chocolate. You know, happiness is more than just fluffy and yummy and fun. Happiness is serious. Happiness takes hard work. Happiness takes
Hugs.
Ultimately, I would not have my nickname Smiley Kylie if it weren't for everyone and everything that brings a smile to my face. Happiness is my passion.
I started dancing when I was kind of young, and I was living in Manitoba. I like to show off to my friends because I felt pretty cool. I moved around Canada for a little while, so it was kind of hard for me to get to dance as much as I wanted. But I really wanted to dance. My family and I moved to the Yukon, and I think that's where my dancing took a turn for the better.
I like a variety of dance, but I have a few favorite types of dance.
Ballet just really makes me happy. I also like contemporary and modern.
So you get the first pair, you get another pair. So you get another pair, and so another pair. It's as frustrating as this. The right pair.
Dancing with Lexi is like dancing with a turtle. Except Lexi is faster than a turtle, and sometimes more elegant. I like dancing with Lexi.
I love dancing with Lexi because she's so much fun and she's really funny, and I think she's a really talented dancer, and I think she'll go really far.
I never know when I'll stop dancing.
And I definitely don't want to stop dancing anytime soon.
You're right back where you started from. I see it in your eyes, but now you're giving up the gun. I heard you play guitar.
Music is my life. I've loved music since the day I was born. I play guitar, drums, and I love to sing. And I'm also in a rock band called Solid Fuel.
Maddie was actually born into music. Her dad's a drummer, her aunts and uncles, and most of her cousins are all musicians and singers, so Maddie grew up around music.
Maddie actually plays a lot of different instruments. She started off playing classical guitar at age 4. Since then, she's picked up the acoustic guitar. Electric guitar. Bass guitar. She also plays drums. She loves to sing.
Damn, I should have said I loved you. That you're the only one I see. Last year I entered a singing competition in Vancouver that was Canada-wide on YTV channel called The Next Star, and I ended up getting all the way to the top 12 in Canada. Here's a clip from my Toronto performance.
Now it's Maddie's turn. Her favorite accessory? Glitter.
My outfit is always like a bunch of glitter. I kind of call it princess punk kind of thing. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna have fun, see how that works out.
This is her second time auditioning for The Next Star. Here she is with Break Even by The Script.
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. I just pray to God that I don't believe in. 'Cause I got time, but she's got freedom. Don't break even.
When I grow up, I want to be a rock star, but if that doesn't work out, then I want to be a music teacher. I just can't imagine my life without music.
Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star.
I had my first riding lesson on my 7th birthday, and from then on I could just not get enough of them. In the winter of 2007, me and my sister took care of 2 horses, Patch and Sunny. In February 2009, my family bought Peaches. I loved him like no other. He was the cutest little horse. I did everything with them, from my first canter to my first time getting bucked off a horse.
Finally, we got she got her own pony, and that pony's name was Peaches, and it was just true love, and her and Peaches were good buddies, and they just taught each other a lot.
After Peaches was sold, I started riding an Appaloosa named Siggy. Me and Siggy went to the horse show together. In 2012, I decided to start leasing a horse named Cinder. She is an old bay mare. Me and Cinder had so many great moments and have more to come. I went to the horse show in 2012 and in 2013 with Cinder.
All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost.
Very lately, I started leasing a 13-year-old gelding named Patches.
She's with this beautiful little pony named Patches, who's totally different kind of a personality than Cinder, and she's learning a whole new way of having to ride and train a different horse. So.
He, on the other hand, was quite willing to drop a lot of things in her life just to be around and have the opportunity to continue to be around horses. So that's when I think I really noticed that Maggie definitely wanted horses in her life.
Remember those walls I built? But baby, they're tumbling down, and they didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo.
I think when you have a horse, you bond with them in a really special way, and it builds a unique relationship.
Horses has taught me so many things, and it's hard to explain how much I love them. And I know that they will always be a big part of my life.
When I was 7, my parents put me in my first horse camp. It was overnight, and my parents were expecting a long and painful goodbye. But as soon as they pointed me towards the horses, it was like my parents no longer existed. When it was over, I would constantly beg my parents to take me back. To this day, it is still my deadly passion.
She hid around corners and she hid under beds. She killed it with kisses, and from it she fled. With every bubble she sank with a drink and washed it away down the kitchen sink. The dog days are over, the dog days are done. The horses are coming.
started taking regular lessons when I was about 9, and I haven't once thought about quitting. And I think that's how you can kind of separate the true equestrians. Trusting something so unpredictable takes an unbelievable amount of passion. And I think that's something not everyone can really understand.
I would like to discuss Maren St. Clair Eckert. She is a dedicated rider.
Very dedicated.
Shows her hours, always comes in, thinking good, clear mind, ready to do some riding. Things like George Morris. He just keeps George Morris.
She's a Georgie prospect.
If she was in the clinic with George Morris,
she would not be
She would get compliments. She's doing good.
Oh, and by the way, she's got a horse.
Riding is basically my life. I don't think I will ever find anything that could possibly beat it. I plan on riding for the rest of my life.
Hi, my name is Megan Prodzik and my passion is dance. I've been taking dance classes since the age of 3. I took a variety of different classes, including creative ballet, jazz, and acro, before I discovered hip-hop. I now focus my love for dance all into that style. I take house, locking, hip-hop, and occasionally popping, whacking, and lyrical hip-hop. I am now in a group at Leaping Feet School of Dance called Hip Hop Performing, taught by incredible teachers where we get to come to dance and learn. The main styles I train in are, as I mentioned before, house, hip-hop, and locking. House dance is a social dance that originated in the clubs of Chicago and New York. The main elements of house dancing are footwork, jacking, and lofting. House is basically comprised of a bunch of variations of footwork moves, and added to those moves is the jacking groove. Lofting is included as well. Lofting is whenever moves are done on the floor. Many times the same move can be done standing up, but also on the floor, to give it a different feel. House grooves come from a variety of styles such as jazz, salsa, hip-hop, and funk. Probably my favorite thing to do in dance is to freestyle. The first time I had to freestyle in a cypher, or a breakdance circle, I came home crying. Freestyle, battling, or any other time you have to improvise in dancing is incredibly stressful and terrifying. Although it's scary no matter how good you are, it gets funner and funner as you learn more moves, and can even turn from being a sickening, horrible experience to the best part of class.
Megan started dancing when she learned how to walk, but she didn't take her first real actual dance class until she was maybe 3.
The term hip-hop is used as an umbrella term for many variations of urban dancing, although the actual hip-hop style of dance is very specific. A few examples of styles that fall under the hip-hop umbrella are popping, locking, house, whacking, tutting, breaking, jerking, dugging, and cat dadding. All of these various dances are very different, but are still considered hip-hop.
When you see Megan dance, what does it make you think of?
Supermodel. Like a Victoria's Secret model, but with clothes on and dancing good.
Hip-hop has been a great confidence builder for me over the years, and it's been a lot of fun. I've learned tons and had the chance to meet and work with some really great people. I hope you've enjoyed my video.
Ever since I was little, the one thing I'd been inexplicably passionate about was performing.
Sarah, you were always performing, whether it was dancing around the living room, prancing around and singing and organizing shows and sitting in the bathtub explaining scientific experiments. There was always a performance element in what you did.
They started small, but you just met somebody new.
I know Sarah Ott because she came out to audition for Into the Woods. Sarah struck both myself and Gerald Isaac as someone who was extremely focused and very talented. And after she left the room, Gerald turned to me and went. So that was our impression of Sarah. She was stupendously wonderful, and then she did Into the Woods with us, and she played the narrator, and she was very focused and very talented. So we were right. The other thing that I noticed too was, what the other cast members were saying, and you were so young at the time, and it was so great to hear people saying things like, that you were a consummate professional, and that you were, that you knew where you were meant to be before you were meant to be there, and that you would anticipate what Gerald needed from you next, and you would just, go to where that would be.
Sarah Ott was a phenomenal student. She worked really, really hard. She has a beautiful voice, and she wasn't scared to take instruction. She took positive, negative, all criticism really, really well, and was just so easy to teach and so easy to work with. She's a wonderful, caring human being who just wants to fill everyone's heart with wonderful music. When I met Sarah Ott, she was a grade 9 student. She was very nervous about singing, so she was very quiet when she started. As I got to know her more, I got to know her voice and how beautiful it was, and I really wanted to showcase it. So what I did is I had her in the room and I had her doing private lessons, and I shut the door. I made sure that the whole world was shut out and she knew it was just me and her. As the weeks progressed, we sang more and more, and I felt that she was getting more comfortable. I don't know if she noticed, but I would open the door and I would leave it open and let people listen and hear her voice until she finally got comfortable and she had people wandering in and out while she had this beautiful voice singing.
Because of all these amazing people who supported me along the way, I've become the person and performer I am today. Through their encouragement, I went from the shy girl who sang around the house to being comfortable in who I am and having opportunities to live my dream and do the one thing I love to do. And the most rewarding thing of all? Seeing someone smile after a performance and knowing I put it there. And honestly, nothing could make me happier.
And my friend Prism is really passionate about acting. Prism loves acting no matter what. She's happy and joyful all the time. Prism gets the emotions she needs to do, and she helps us if it looks fake. Yeah. Or if our emotions would look fake, she would show us what to do. I've been acting and making videos with Prism for 4 years now. There are times when we argue a lot, and because we don't really know what we're gonna do. And even if Prism was against the idea, she still acted it and make it fun.
Enchantment.
Oh.
Giselle! I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss, and the mate that has come to mess. Something to...
I can tell that Prism loves acting because 1 minute she's like fine and then she's crying and we're like, oh my god, Prism, what's wrong? And then she like starts laughing because she's acting. Like, I got you guys. My favorite thing that I did with Prism is we make these videos called Just for Love. It's like a little TV show. My favorite episode is when I was Prism's mom and she was a spoiled little rotten girl with my other friends, of course. They were all smart kids. But she was like, I'm not your daughter anymore. It was really funny. So I love Prism and she's probably gonna get a good acting degree when she gets older.
Me and Prism do so much acting together. Like, we did this commercial once. It was like, it was an ad for toilet paper, and we'll be like sitting on the toilet and singing the song and stuff. It was so much fun. We make the show just for love. My favorite episode that we did was when my friend Lizzie was the mom of my other friend Delenn, and they were like these princess and queen, and me and Prism like interviewed them, and it was really fun. So, yeah.
Welcome back to you of our mother and daughter relationship show. Back to you, Indy.
Well, let's meet our queen and princess. Our queen's name is
Samantha.
Queen Samantha.
Anyway, moving on. We'll be back after our break. Commercial! Acting is... Huh? What? Oh, prisms!
To most, the word brown signifies just a color. A color found in things like tree bark, milk chocolate, paper bags, and perfectly baked cookies.
I do my best.
Little do they know, brown is so much more than just a color. It's a way of life. Being brown is my greatest passion.
The sunburst clouds break, yeah, we see that fire.
Even as a baby, I knew that I was destined for brown greatness. I aspire to be someone who shared her love of being brown with the world. Not only are we avid cricket watchers, but we can also see things differently than most.
Sana has really grown fond of the brown accent. She was born with the natural talent this way, and she made me really proud.
Being brown is a party every day.
Yet you see some hope in me. The black and white.
As a founder of Whitehorse's small but growing brown gang, the connection that I share with my fellow homies of brown descent are absolutely instantaneous.
But no matter what daylight brings to us.
Having recently visited Browntown, I really got a feel of what my culture is like, which pushed my passion for being brown even further.
Even before I met Sarah J, I knew how well she was able to express her true color, the color brown. But when I met her, she had so much pride in being brown that it even started rubbing off on me. Her love of being brown continues to amaze me to this day.
I love everything that comes with being brown. The beautiful clothing, the hella delicious foods, and the amazing traditions are just a few of these things. Living the brown life is living the good life.
Hope when your moment comes, you'll say, I did it all.
Jolo swag.
For me, gymnastics is more than just a sport. It's a lifestyle. It's the only thing I would spend all my free time doing. I don't know who I would be without gymnastics. I'm so passionate about this sport for many reasons. The people there are so fun and always a joy to be around. They make me happy even when I'm having a bad day.
A lot of passion while training because she just works really hard, and you can see it when she trains. There's a lot of enjoyment while she does it.
The tricks we do are the best part. Learning new skills is so fun. After I do a skill for the first time, I feel so accomplished. The training part isn't the only part I'm passionate about. I love coaching just as much. Just knowing I taught them something my coach once taught me is amazing.
Caitlin has a lot of passion for coaching because she really enjoys it and she enjoys having the kids around.
After training for months, I love going to the competition. Traveling with my team is so much fun. Walking to the gym on competition day, just knowing that today is going to be a great day is awesome. Waiting for awards is so nerve-wracking. Not knowing if the judges liked my routine or if I truly did a good job. A quote we like to use at the gym is, if gymnastics were easy, they'd call it football.
One of the
Funnest moments with Caitlin was when we were really tired after a competition and we decided and we really needed dinner, and it was like 11 o'clock at night and we were driving back to the hotel and Caitlin had chili from Timmy's and she was eating it, and then we hear her say, "Does anyone have a napkin?" And just no one answered, and later we hear, "Never mind, I used my bread."
I'm a naturally happy person, so it's my passion to try and spread my joy to others, in hopes that people will catch on and feel good about themselves too. I always get so much joy when I perform an act of kind-heartedness. If the receiver of that action passes it on to someone else, it creates a cycle of goodwill that can hopefully snowball, spreading out into the world at large. I always ask myself, do you feel like starting an avalanche of joy today? And the answer is always yes. I always smile. When people smile, it makes others feel happy, and in turn, that makes you feel great. I make sure to smile at the people that look grumpy. They're the ones who probably need a beam of sunlight more than anything. A smiling face evokes happiness and opens the door for joy. Most people find it hard not to return a smile, so this is a really great way to start spreading joy. I smile every chance I get. Not because life has been easy, perfect, or exactly how I have anticipated, but because I choose to be happy and grateful for all the good things I do have and all the problems I know I don't have.
When she was about a 3 or 4-year-old little girl, she was in a Montessori preschool program, and she learned a lot of little songs and poems, and one day when I was upset, she came up to me and started singing this little song called Put a Little Sunshine in Your Day, and of course, just cheered me right up.
What's really important when you're aiming to spread joy is that your optimism can be as infectious as negativity seems to be at times. I try to encourage others to see the bright side of their life. There are a lot of serious people out there, an awful lot. Very wisely, Robert Frost once noted that if we couldn't laugh, we would all go insane.
Tori has always had a witty sense of humor. I got a hacky sack for Christmas when she was 4. I tried it, but could only keep it in the air a few times. Seeing this, Tori said, "Too bad Santa didn't bring you some talent to go on with that."
Spread joy, spread it around, all around the world, all around this world. Spread joy, spread it around, all around the town, all around the town.
I find the simplest way to spread joy is by just being nice. A nice person is often well-liked and leaves happiness wherever they go. While it sounds stale, it's actually one of the loveliest things on earth.
All around this world. I said all around the world. Every night and day. all around the world.
I think positive because smiling is contagious.
My name is Claire Moody, and I've loved the arts with a passion for as long as I can remember. But not just performing arts, visual arts as well.
Art class at FH is a blast. We have so much fun. Also, Claire's a pretty good artist. We're pretty jealous, she's so good at drawing people. Look at that.
That's professional work. That's like
they're on the couch right now.
Comic stuff. Like in those comic books.
And I always feel like she can show emotion really well. Look how that person's like not even there. But she is. And there's another thing we do. It's really fun. I'll just find it for you. This is called, I don't know if we have a name for it. It's called a fun time. We start with one image. And we pass it around our table. And there's usually like 4 or 5 of us. And we always add on. And let's say this is a cactus. It could be like something else if you turn it this way. And then you just add more designs on until it's a beautiful masterpiece. It's a fun time.
Fun time.
Sometimes we have a little bit too much fun in art class.
Art is so many things. Things you might not even expect. Like origami or bracelets and the written word.
So yeah, I took it from we were in your room, and I took it from under your bed. I read it right here, and once I got to the part where you had left, I thought you had gone and come back already, but you were in the room.
Like, you thought it was real?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Once I get fixed on an art form, I stick with it until I've made a piece I really like. Though I show people some of them, I often keep pieces specifically for myself. I don't always feel comfortable showing people things like this because it's just a little person. That's why origami, bracelets, plays, and music are the pieces I share more. They aren't as personal, and they're for everyone to see.
I feel that Claire is a very skilled artist. She puts lots of feeling and emotions into her drawings. Her drawings are very powerful and more on the darker side of things. It's not energetic, it's quite sad. It makes me want to cry, but it's still beautiful. They encourage you to make better life choices, use your time more wisely because you never know when it could be over. As you can see death in the background. Her quotes are also very powerful, and I believe she takes them from experiences that she's had before. I do really enjoy looking at Claire's work. She's a really creative person, and I enjoy that.
I've always loved the theater. Ever since I was a wee little boy, I've been acting, whether it be small or big parts.
When Lachlan was 4 years old, he was in preschool when we lived in Regina, and he found out the teacher was planning to do a play. He was so excited he couldn't get over it. And when he found out what the play was going to be, he wanted to be the lead because we had the very same book.
After that, I carried on doing more things acting-wise. I attended the Globe Theatre School in Regina for a while. That was, and still is, Regina's best theatre camp. I will be returning there this summer, after many years of not being there. This past summer, I attended a different acting camp at the Royal Conservatory of Music in Regina. Not as fancy as it sounds, but still fun. I drifted away from acting for a while, wanting to do more of what the nature children do. But I quickly grew out of that very strange phase. I went to my first Mad Haunted House when I was in the 4th grade. It was then that I knew I wanted to be in Mad. I went home and said to my mother, "That's what I want to do when I'm in high school." My sister is another person who knows I love acting. Both of them actually, but one is 3 years old. So the middle sister understands more.
We all know he loves acting. Everyone in the family. Every
single one of us?
Yeah.
I remember when the opportunity to apply for MAD finally came. Getting the assignments done was hard, but I did them. Then the meeting to meet Jeff and Mary came, and I was really nervous. I remember walking into the big room and seeing Jeff and Mary sitting at the table. Mary looked happy, and I thought sunshine and rainbows were going to burst from behind her face, and Jeff looked like he was thinking that he didn't have time for the puny mortals attempting to get into MAD. At the experiential day, I had lots of fun. The thing that stands out in my mind the most was when Mary said,
That was like something out of a Monty Python sketch. I met Lachlan at the experiential day, and he did his puppet sketch, which I think was about like a lady in a bus pass, and Mary afterwards says, that was very Monty Python-like, and I was like, oh my god, Monty Python! So then I knew Lachlan as Monty Python guy for the entire summer, and I was like, I want to be that guy's buddy.
Finding out I got into MAD filled me with happiness. I was overjoyed. The haunted house was everything I'd hoped it would be. It was great fun, with all the singing and dancing, hearing the screams of the poor little children who wanted to escape. So overall, I was not disappointed. I've been waiting for that since the 4th grade, and it was worth it. So now we've done the haunted house, we've done the winter show, and now we're doing the variety show. Yay!
I have a lot of passions. One is gymnastics. I've trained on and off for most of my life, and it's definitely one of the most challenging sports I've ever done. Another one of my passions is hockey. My dad had me on skates as soon as I could walk, and I've played hockey ever since. I played out until I was about 11, and then I realized I really wasn't going anywhere. So I strapped on the goalie pads, and I've played net ever since. I've gone to Canada Winter Games, and now I'm headed to my first Arctic Winter Games. I also love animals. They've always been a really big part of my life. And my mom's a vet, so we always have plenty of them around. I have a dog, Daisy, and I've had her since she was just a baby. She's very playful and really entertaining, but she can be really bossy. I also have a cat, Tony Tigger, another dog, Penny, 2 horses, 3 goats, named Kate, William, and their baby, George. We also have 2 bunnies, 1 hamster, and a snake. Another one of my passions is family. And here's my interview with my younger sister, Willow.
Willow!
Maya likes hockey, volleyball. She likes a lot of sports like gymnastics. And she likes animals, and she likes fashion. And she's really mad at me because I keep getting these interviews wrong.
My family is also doing a television program for Nat Geo Wild, so here's a clip from that.
She kissed you! Holy moose breath, I love it! I love my job. I mean, I get to kiss a moose. Who gets to do that on a daily basis? The area I cover is the size of the entire Pacific Northwest. I work on captive wildlife, muskox, caribou, lynx. Hey, no. Okay, I got one. And then the next day I could be working on someone's pet parakeet or a dog. Oh, only about 16 left to go. I have a very patient husband and 3 daughters. That's a little Dolly right there.
These are my passions, and passions are the gates to your purpose. A.J. Levette.
Hi, my name is Brooke, and performing is my passion because I just love being on stage, and I always have, ever since I was little.
I put Brooke into dance when she was in kindergarten, and I realized she really enjoyed it when she was in her first performance of Peter Pan. She did not flinch when she was going onto stage. She did not cry. She just loved the audience and she loved everything about being on stage.
I loved performing so much I even tried doing a skating show. It was interesting.
At school, Brooke enjoyed being in choir, and she also loved to put on Christmas performances and really enjoyed doing plays with her classmates.
That's why I'm so lucky I get to do my passion every day in the MAD program. One of the wonderful parts about being in MAD is the constant performing. In MAD, lunchtime can become a performance.
Some of her best performance qualities, I'd have to say, is how energetic she can be and how much she gets into the, whatever character she's trying to play. I also think that sometimes her facial expressions are just the best I've ever seen on stage. Like, she'll just really get into it. Her mouth's always is wide open, and it's just really fun to watch.
Performing is definitely my passion because it's something that will always make me happy.
I'm Alex, and my passion is food. I eat food when I'm bored, watching a movie, or even in my bed. One of my favorite things is my fridge. Food is around for my happiest moments.
Alex's favourite foods, he really likes seafood, all kinds of seafood, mussels, crab, lobster, any kind of fish, as long as it doesn't have too many bones in it, and you don't need to scrape the scales off it. He also likes pulled pork, chicken, steak, burgers, pasta, lentils, sausages, most foods.
I eat food really quickly, and in some cases, a little too quickly. Most of my favorite foods fall into this sweets section, such as donuts, and jelly beans. My favorite food has to be pulled pork.
Alex loves food more than anything in the world. Like, he talks about it constantly, and he's always asking me for snacks, and he'll be like, hey man, I'm pretty hungry. Do you have any food I could, take off you and eat? And it's crazy. He just never stops talking about it. Alex eats food so fast. Like, if you left him in the superstore for maybe 10 minutes alone, man, half the store would be gone. He would have eaten everything, including the baby wipes. And he probably wouldn't even notice he ate the baby wipes because he'd have like 10 chicken wings in his mouth.
I eat food in places you shouldn't really eat food, such as the computer or stairs. Food can tell you what kind of movie you're watching. Chips for action or comedies, and ice cream for sad movies. My favorite thing about food is that there's endless combinations, such as banana Nutella, and usually they taste really good. Food is my passion because it will always be there for you.
I showed interest in taking pictures and video at an early age. I remember getting my very first camera when I was about 4 years old.
So back in 2002, Lily was a big fan of taking pictures. So I bought her one of the very first digital cameras, and she took it around the house and took pictures of the cats and of the plants and occasionally of different angles of the carpet. So that was really the first impression of her that I knew that she liked taking pictures and video.
Last year, I won first place for the Workers' Comp video, which earned me a spot on Team Yukon for the National Skills Competition. As part of my training, I filmed the Regional Skills Competition here in Whitehorse. Skills Canada was an amazing experience. I learned so much and met many talented people from all across Canada.
Lily's always filming stuff. She's never not filming anything. What's that? We're flash mobbing. Lily's there with a camera. What's that? We're walking down the hallway. Lily's there filming every step of the way. What's that? We're going to the bathroom. No, Lily's not there with a camera.
Lily likes to just document life. Like, she doesn't want to have a day and something amazing happen and then her not get it on camera, because then she won't be able to remember that and look back at it and all the good times that she's had. She just likes to keep the memories with her.
There are so many reasons why I love making videos. I love seeing people's reaction when they see themselves being silly on camera. Also, it's a good way to show my friends and family what I've been up to. But most of all, I make videos because my life is full of beautiful people and wonderful memories, and I can't afford to forget a single one of them.
Each and every person is born with a gift, a talent or passion for something you do. I'd like to think that mine is music.
She's either singing or playing her piano every time I see her, or humming along to something, and it's not only a part of her, it's a part of everybody else because she shares what she has with everybody else.
She's written a song for her uncle after he returned from Afghanistan.
Because I have a girl concert, and we ended up raising $2,000.
She wrote a song for a charity, the Creation of Hope, that they use in their presentations across Canada. From her first performances at the piano for Rotary Music Festivals to writing her first song and then performing it on the stage at the Art Center and winning a contest, and it's been an amazing journey.
Years from now, I'm going to turn my radio on and I'll be like, oh, it's Emily! And I'll turn up the volume because Emily will be on the radio.
In a concert.
And then I'll turn on the TV and she'll be in the top 100 of best songs in the whole world.
Kenya.
Running her music school, and I see me flying there a lot. She sings with her heart, and that's something that you can't really find nowadays, and that's really amazing that she can bring all of those different qualities together and make such an amazing performance that I think she's going to go places. She better remember me.
I'm not exactly sure where I'll go in life, but I do know one thing. Music will always be a big part of me, and no matter where I go, I'll always have music inside me.
So take me far away when no one knows our names, and we can fly a kite. Let's just laugh and smile and fall in love, and everything will be alright.
I love traveling because it's experiencing different cultures, learning other ways of life. I've traveled ever since I remember. Mexico, Costa Rica, various places in the United States and Canada. Though the most memorable places I've been are Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Colombia, and South Africa. What intrigues me the most about travel is the people. You get to, for a brief period of time, take part in a completely different culture. You see the different social structures that other countries are composed of. Everything from the dialect of the language to the taste of the food varies country by country.
Akasha's first word when she was under a year old was goodbye, and her favorite game between the ages of 1 and 2 was to drag her suitcase around the house. So I think that's where it began.
When I was 7, my mom took me and my sister to East Africa for 7 months. Before we went, what I imagined Africa would be like was this. We'd land in the middle of nowhere and live with a pride of lions for the next 7 months. That is, if they didn't eat us first. Contrary to this, we landed in Nairobi, the largest city in Kenya, with a population of 3.138 million people. Nairobi was the first really big city that I've ever been to outside of Canada and the States. The cities we went to in East Africa, such as Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kampala, are unlike any cities anywhere else in the world other than Africa. Layers upon layers of dirt and grime, full of life, colorful and loud. Beggars, pedestrians, and street vendors lining the streets, and the distinct, overwhelming smells of diesel, tobacco, and street food. During the summer this year, we went to South Africa. This was my favorite trip so far. First, we went to Cape Town, where we spent 6 weeks volunteering in a program called Dreams to Reality, or DTR.
Hi, my name is Zoe. This summer I got to volunteer with my sister Akasha in South Africa. We loved meeting the kids and hearing all the stories they had to tell. We met amazing children and amazing people in South Africa. I love South Africa. It is such an amazing experience. We had so much fun.
We participated in the surf outreach program, although none of us knew anything about surfing. The kids the program was for were around 11 to 15, meaning that me and my sister got to become friends with the kids. I made some of the best friends I could have, Jaylee, Lynn, and Tomisha. Even though we were in the surf program, my favorite thing to do was go to the school, Christian David. At the school I helped the grade 4 class, which was kids of around 11. The kids were so much fun to be with, and an entire surf group was in that class. These were the kids I got to know the best. These kids are tough, they're gangster kids. They have to be. They live in the middle of the most violent part of the city, the townships. They see a lot of violence and are subjected to more of it. The townships are entirely black in color, while the cities are mostly white. However, the townships are also 90% of the population and have 70% HIV/AIDS rates, meaning that 3 out of every 4 kids we met could have had it, and a majority unemployment. This was the first time I'd ever really experienced culture shock. In the end, South Africa was both the toughest and the best trip I'd ever been on.
My favorite swim spot is this little bay by the Marsh Lake Marina. It's peaceful and calm there, so it's really nice, and you can just swim or sit by the rocks. I just love jumping into the water and just entering another world. And in Marsh Lake, I just love everything, the color of aqua and just gardens of seaweed and schools of fish. consider myself a freestyle swimmer. I do pretty much anything in the water. I love Rip Curl. They make like amazing swimwear and you feel totally comfortable and amazing in the water. I love the feeling of weightlessness and total freedom underwater. How the waves just welcome you to their deep blue world and you just feel at one with the water.
She's a water girl. She loves everything about it. In the summertime, whenever I come to visit, she always asks, "Want to go for a swim?" When she's in the water, she's never stressed. The water's like her escape from everything else. Whenever we swim, she's always close to the bottom, swimming along the sand.
What can I say? It's in her blood.
I say she's an amphibian. She is a land and water type.
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Just praying to a God that I don't believe in. 'Cause I got time while she got freedom. 'Cause when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even. The best days will be some of my worst. She finally met a man that's gonna put her first. While I'm wide awake, she's no trouble sleeping. 'Cause when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even, no. What am I supposed to do when the best part of me was always you? And what am I supposed to say when I'm all choked up that you're okay? I'm falling to pieces. They say bad things happen for a reason, but no wild words gon' stop the bleeding. 'Cause she's moved on while I'm still grieving. And when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even, no. And what am I gonna do when the best part of me was always you? And what am I supposed to say when I'm all choked up that you're okay? I'm falling to pieces, yeah. I'm falling to pieces, yeah. I'm falling to pieces. 'Cause when the heart breaks, no, it don't break even.
Ever since I was little, I've always loved food, especially food that had an extra bit of sweetness. My mom often caught me looking in the pantry for chocolate, stealing a bite of cookie dough, or sneaking cookies into the shopping cart. I think because I developed an early passion for sweets, it has always stuck with me. Sometimes I like to think of the 4 food groups as 3. Tasty food,
I stand here waiting.
tasty and healthy food,
and just healthy food.
Well, everybody needs to eat, but Kat seems to be a special example for a passion for food that is not necessary, but just very tasty, such as ice cream, and chocolate, and hot chocolate, and more ice cream.
But if you close your eyes,
Sometimes it's important to eat healthy, but that doesn't mean eating kale chips and flax seeds.
does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? We were caught up and lost.
I don't go to extremes. Something that has health benefits and tastes delicious is perfect. There's no wrong place to eat food. I eat wherever I can.
In the city that we love.
When I bake cookies, I don't just get scrumptious results. I burn off all the calories I eat when I make them.
I'm a country boy from Tappahannock. VA is where I reside, so shawty understand it. And I know I just turned 18 and I get a little mannish. And you see this bandana hanging, that means I'm like a bandit, like a bandit. I got paper, girl. The Lamborghini.
Kat loves food. I mean, she loves food. Whenever I bring anything to school, anything, even if it's not very good, she eats it. She'll munch it up without me even knowing.
I hope that by sharing my passion for food, you can see how important it is to me, and will make the right and delicious choices for you. Bye!